Hello students, hope you all are doing well. Welcome back again with the third chapter of history. In the last part we talked about the crafts, the materials, and we talked about cotton, spindle and faience. Yes, now we will talk about a specialist. This all materials they used to make. Who used to make this all things? A specialist person. Who is specialist person? Let's read it out. Specialist person means many things were produced by the work of specialist. A specialist is a person who is trained to do only one kind of work. Only one kind of work means he is a special. He knows everything about that particular work. For example, cutting stone. Those who are cutting stone, polishing the stones, carving stones, they would be knowing about it. Those are known specialists. Polishing bits, making shining, polishing off and carving seals. Those people, for example, we took over here, were known as specialists. Now, let us see next thing, raw materials. Now, we will come to know what are raw materials. Substances that grow naturally, okay, like iron ore, wood, stone, etc. or substance produced by farmers or herders. This substance are the process to be produced finished goods. For example, if we say cotton produced farmer is a raw material. Yes, cotton is being produced by the farmer. So, for the farmer that particular material is raw. Used to make cloth which is finished good, those are finished good, and some raw materials were available locally, that were being available locally, and other raw materials were brought from distant land and other materials were being used for the distant lands. So, this is how they produced by the raw materials, and then they used to work on it. For example, we can say if a cotton is being produced for a farmer, okay, and then it is for a raw material, then they will use the cloth in it, okay, and which is their finished good for it. Then we can say that those raw materials that were being available for locally, and then we can say and this were being produced from the distant lands. So, this is how we talk and say about raw materials. Now, but what are raw materials and which distant lands? As in the previous clip it was being said that it was being sent or produced to the far lands. Then items like copper, tin, gold, silver, precious stone, etc. okay, are the raw materials. Now, suppose we can say how we come to know that gold was found in which place. So, gold from present day Karnataka, precious stone from present day of Gujarat, Afghanistan and Iran, those time were being taken off from there, from those places. Copper from present day, that is Rajasthan and Oman, from West Asia, and tin from a present day, that is Afghanistan and Iran. So, tin was mixed with copper to produce bronze. So, how is bronze being produced and mixed up? That is produced from the tin was mixed with the copper and then it was being produced to the bronze. So, this is we talk about raw materials and a distant lands. Food for the people in the cities. Now, what type of foods they used to have? People in a countryside, that is farmers and herders. Who are herders? Herders are those who take care of domestic animals, grew crops and reared animals. They used to practice the animals, they used to have animals. They provided food for people in the cities like scribes. We knew about the scribes, those who know to write and know about the skills and the abilities of themselves, and they know how to write. They used to seal off. Crafts person, they may be male or female, knowing about the craft, and rulers, the kings, etc. Now, what did Harappan grew? Means what? Agriculture, what crops they used to grow, that is wheat, barley, rice and peas. So, this way the Harappan civilization people used to grow the crops like wheat, barley, rice and peas. Then we talk about food farming. So, food farming, a new tool, the plough, as you can see over here, used to dig the earth and plant seeds. They were used probably to made of wood. Actual ploughs have not survived. Actual ploughs that those time where this civilization were using, it was being not developed. Okay, then how we come to know? We come to know by their toy models and that have been found over those time. As you can see the toy models over here, yes. So, by this way we come to know that this people used plough for digging the earth and the plant seeds. So, this region does not get heavy rainfall, and so some forms of irrigations were being used. They used the irrigation purpose, and this means water was stored and supplied to field when required. When it was being required, they used to store the water for them, and as you know, water is an essential for human survive, yes, to humans to survive. So, they used to store the water. So, they started storing the water and they supplied to the fields when it was being required. Let us talk about food, but about the animals. Then the Harappan reared sheep, goat, cattle and buffaloes. Water and pastures were available around the settlement. Took the reared animal to great distance in search for pastures and water in the dry summer months. In dry summer months, they used to go for the search for the pastures and water in the dry summer months, whereas they also collected fruits, they caught fish, hunted wild animals like antelope. Now, let us talk about Harappan town in Gujarat. So, first we take about Dholavira, located on the Kadar Belt. As you can see the map of Dholavira in the run of Kutch, and there was fresh water and fertile of the soil. As you know about run of Kutch, it is the important place, okay, and most of the tourism used to come over here and see the place. As we know, it is the run of Kutch, there is a white sand. So, there was a fresh and water and fertile soil, and there was also a large open area in the settlement where public ceremonies could be held. As we come to know that yes, public ceremonies were being held off in this place, in this town of Gujarat, that is Dholavira. People used to have their rites and rituals of their customs and traditions. So, now let us talk about difference between Dholavira and other settlements. Harappan cities and Dholavira were divided into two parts. Generally, Harappan writing has been found on small objects such as seals. Okay. Let us now find out about Harappan cities, how they were, and Dholavira was being divided into three parts. Each part was surrounded by a massive stone walls. An entrance was through gateways. Large letters of Harappan script carved out of white stone and inlaid in wood have been found. So, this is the settlements between Harappan civilization and Dholavira. Okay. Now, in Harappan civilization, the two parts were about citadel and the lower city. So, this were the two difference between the settlement of Harappan cities and Dholavira. I hope students this concept is clear to you. Thank you and have a nice day.